Hi everyone, welcome back to the Be Mindful podcast. We have our incredible guest today, Mrs. Karina Jardine-Scott, founder and chairperson of Kids in Need of Direction, also known as KIND. Would you like to introduce yourself to our viewers?
Oh, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here, and we're looking for a great session today.
Yes, and I have to say I'm extremely excited about this one, really and truly. So first of all, what is KIND? Can you tell us about what you stand for, what you believe in, and what you do?
Sure. Empowering children, transforming lives. Kids in Need of Direction. We're going to be 25 years old this year in 2023. And that's basically what we do, empower children. And we do focus, and we're a needs-based organization, and we focus on transforming lives.
Beautiful.
So we have a number of projects and initiatives that we're doing. We're based in Laventille. We have an educational facility, and we do offer remedial training and classes for students who are not coping well in the primary school with regard to their academics, numeracy, literacy, etc. We have a youth and adult mental health first aid certification, Me Time workshop, which is really for social workers, guidance counselors, educators, and the adult one is for anyone interacting with children or adults. And it really helps persons understand the situation with mental health and how people can really understand their own selves.
Right.
Give a little bit of self-care so that we all become better human beings.
Exactly.
And then our other programs such as the emergency food relief that we've been doing since the pandemic, since COVID has hit. We've been preparing packages for persons who have lost their job, clothing, food, stationery for their children for school. We have our program where we assist children with their school books, uniforms, etc. for them to get back to school. Summer camp, many different programs that we're doing.
I love that. I really, really love that. And guys, I really commend the work that Kids in Need of Direction is doing. It is truly an inspiration every day I interact with her and her team. They inspire me every day.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome to hear. Did you know that this lovely lady, Miss Ashley Abraham, our representative from Trinidad and Tobago for the Miss World competition, is our mental health ambassador for Kids in Need of Direction, KIND. Isn't that amazing?
I am so excited. Yes, guys, it's true. I am indeed. And I have to say, firstly, thank you for that opportunity. From the first conversation I had with Karina, we bonded so much about mental health, about spirituality, about self-love and self-awareness, and it's truly such an inspiration to be part of the KIND team and to represent you guys, especially in the schools.
Oh, that's awesome. And Ashley is very passionate about mental health, and it's important for all of us to be very cognizant of our own mental health. Self-care is vital and important for me to like you, for me to understand you, for you to understand your mom, for you to understand your daughter. It's really important that all of us look after ourselves and do a little bit of research on mental health, especially amongst young people and children, students in school. It's difficult, a challenging time. So let's try and all work together to try and get our own mental health in the right place.
Exactly. You couldn't have said it better than that. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is why she is the queen that she is, truly. And I'm glad you mentioned the schools, right? Because what I love about KIND is that you guys, the first few events we had, you kept saying kindness is a choice. And I really do believe in that. And we have an issue right now in schools where bullying is an issue. What are your views on that? How can we counteract the issue? But what are your views overall and kind of finding solutions?
Well, it's a challenging situation because it's really has evolved from years and years ago. You're right. We've always had bullies in all parts of the world and in all parts of our lives. But really and truly, it has to do with the parent-child relationship. And it's important for parents and children to get along, to speak. Your parent should be your best friend. And parents, your children should be your best friends. You need to know all about what your children are doing. You need to know who their friends are. What are their interests? What are they doing in school? And wherever support you can give to that school where your children are going to, that's vital and important because teachers are not the babysitters. And teachers really do have a lot on their plate. As well as we're evolving and changing in times. We have to pay attention to children and see the different children that we have today in 2023 compared to 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So all of those things are important for us to recognize, but we must work together.
Exactly. I definitely agree, and I do agree that communication is key. as someone who did face bullying, as I keep using this platform to speak about, when I speak to the kids through Kind, being the ambassador, and I see these children and they tell me their stories, what I realize is they just want to be listened to. They just want to be heard. They want to be accepted. They want to express themselves. So that's the role of a parent. And in situations where the parents may not be there, let's be those parents.
Yes.
Let's take that step.
Very well said.
Yes, definitely. So we've been hearing recently a lot of stories coming out about violence in schools with kids, and I recently spoke to Lawrence Arjun, who is the CEO of the Heroes Foundation, who as well expressed his concerns with that. What are your views on this issue with violence in school and these kids feeling the need to lash out? What are your thoughts on that?
What's our society like in Trinidad and Tobago at this point in time with crime? Because I'll give you a good example and a good reality check. Violence in schools is really a replica of what's going on in our society. It's important that each person take responsibility for their own actions and stop blaming next door friend, mother, father, cousin, grandmother, etc. If each one of us took responsibility as living on our island and take ownership of living on our island, we would have a very different society. Violence in schools can be stopped if we connect with our students, work tirelessly to make sure they are happy, and lead by example. Leading by example changes everyone's perception of who you are.
Yes, beautifully said. So accurate. And what I love, the point that you made, I keep saying that schools are a microcosm of the macrocosm. So when we have kids coming in with issues, whether it be mental health or violence breaking out or whatever the case may be, it is reflecting the bigger issue. So
yeah, it is, and we have to take responsibility for that, and the understanding that we are all trying. Everyone on this earth is trying.
Exactly.
So you can't judge somebody in a different way than how you judge yourself. So it's really important that we take stock of who we are, what we do, and lead by example. Our kids are always watching.
Exactly.
So we have to lead by example to make sure that what we are showing them is the right thing.
Exactly. And they're like sponges. Kids are literally like sponges.
Yes.
So it all takes that part that we play, all of us, the cashier, the principal, the parent, whatever it may be. So definitely thank you for raising that point.
Sure.
So earlier you mentioned briefly about the mental health training, first aid training, and can you just tell us more about that? Because my personal view, I really do believe that mental health awareness is key if we want to really make a true impact in spaces like schools or workplaces or overall in society. So can you tell us more about the training program?
Yes, certainly. So the training program is the Youth Mental Health First Aid Certification Training and Me Time Workshop. And it's also the Adult Mental Health First Aid Certification Training and Me Time Workshop. So it's two sets. The youth one is really targeting educators, social workers, guidance counselors, nurses, anyone who interacts with the public, but especially the youth. And what it is, it's really training someone to become a certified first aider. They get US certification for 3 years, and the Me Time aspect is really where we're teaching yoga, meditation, we're teaching some critical thinking, and very important, neuroscience. And neuroscience really helps us understand how we think. Where did we get these thoughts from, and why do we think like this? And how we can change our thoughts. We can change our thought process at any age. You know, this sort of dialect and information where we've always told, you know, when you're 70 or you're 80, you can never change. That person is set in their ways. No, no, no. We can change at any point in time, and by the use of music, by the use of learning a language, etc., helps us to change.
Definitely.
You know, so the mental health aspect is the most important thing right now, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, globally. And it's really important that we recognize, because we don't live on this island by ourselves. We live constantly communicating and interacting with people. And it's vital and important that we recognize, how do we feel about ourselves? How do we feel? Are we happy? Because it is a choice.
It is.
And to also to all of our actions are our choices. And when you have done some neuroscience, you would recognize that, wait now, every action that I've ever done has always been me. You mean there's nobody else to blame? Yes, that's true. There's nobody else to blame.
That's very
So it's very important that we recognize, that mental health, especially in large schools, when you have 700 and 900 students in a school, you have to give those teachers the support and also the students the support. Because it's a lot of personalities and hormones and things happening, and that's amongst young people.
Right.
Don't forget, young people are carbon copies of us and the older people, right?
Exactly.
So they are absorbing everything that's happening. So if we are not behaving properly,
Exactly.
they're going to follow our bad behavior.
Exactly.
Whether we like it or not, they're going to follow it.
That's so true. We set the tone. And what I love about this program, and guys, I will be doing the program, so I'm very excited about that, is the fact that when we went to the schools, they told us there is an issue when we refer these cases from the students with the guidance counselors to the Ministry of Health, I believe. There is an issue right now with a 6 to 8 month backlog for the earliest appointment. So this training is actually giving teachers and educators the opportunity to really step in and be able to change the lives of these young people. I really commend you, Karina. Kind is truly making an impact, and I'm so proud to be part of that and to be a representative for you.
Oh, that's awesome. But Ashley herself, that's her passion.
Yes.
Right? Mental health is her passion, and it's a good fit with us. And the training that we are doing, we are offering to educators, as we said, guidance counselors, even the medical fraternity. People who interact with public, especially the youth, need to be trained as first aiders, mental health first aiders, so they know how to deal with a challenging situation. A person who is certified, a 3-year US certification is what is offered as part of the program. And we invite anyone to check out our website, give us a call, and you can find out more about the mental health first aid certification and the Me Time workshop.
So we speak a lot about creating the safe spaces in society, in school, right? But what is your advice to the parents who may be listening to this? How do we create the safe spaces to really foster good mental health and to identify and create spaces for them to come and communicate with us, the children? How do we do that?
Well, the first thing is that we have to connect with our children. We have to get to know our kids. And we have to be understanding. We were all children once upon a time too. So, not everything they have to get pulled over by, they don't have to get, quarreled with and told in a very harsh tone. You have to connect with them as a friend. And that's one of the most important things. Once you can connect with them as a friend and they're willing to, chat with you and be able to open up with you, and they're also willing to share their space with you, their bedroom, invite their friends over, enjoy romping around and having fun with the kids. That's really the first part, because a parent is really able to know when something is wrong with their child. If you don't know your child, how are you going to know something's wrong with your child? And be a part of your child's life. That's really very important. If you can set the example, and lead them as a parent. Yes, you could be a friend, but there are moments and times when you have to be a parent to your children. Not every child that you have, you could just be friend all the time. So that's a really big step to take. And there are many courses in parenting that persons can do.
Right.
You can do, of course, the research on the internet as well. And you can reach out. There are many groups offering parenting courses as well. If you're unsure or uncertain what to do, talk to your school, talk to the teachers and find out. But offer support and empathy.
Exactly.
Empathy and understanding goes a long way. When we show empathy and understanding to our fellow human being, our kids are paying attention, and that's what they will learn in turn.
Exactly. So, as you said, empathy, understanding, and being kind. These things make a huge difference in how we communicate, how we feel about ourselves, and how we feel about each other.
Yes, beautifully said. And we're supporting Ashley Abraham, our Trinidad and Tobago Miss World representative. Thank you.
Guys, this has been such an incredible conversation, everything. I really commend you again, Karina, what you and your team are doing. It's truly inspirational. It's incredible. So thank you for taking the time from your busy schedule to come and speak to us on the Be Mindful podcast. And well, guys, tune in next week to see more episodes from the Be Mindful podcast. See you then.
Thank you. Bye.